Well, to everybody at Stepping Stones and the Bases Project, today is a fast blast, a little bit of an explanation of what happens when certain things happen. Now, there's a couple of things happening in terms of the conference. This is dated June the 20th. Oh, this is dated June 20, whatever the hell it is, 25th. Now, what's been going on is a number of very important things. First of all, there are a number of things happening with the secret space program. There's a number of things happening with the UFO disclosure thing, and everybody's talking about UFO disclosure, and they're talking about not UFOs but UAPs. And the UAP thing is connected with the CIA because they're faking the UFO thing so they can fake an alien invasion with the lockstep report and all the stuff that's going on. And so a lot of people are playing a lot of shenanigans, and there's a couple of people who've been messing me about. I don't know who they are, and I don't care, and I don't want to know who they are. So the conference is sort of moving on. There's been one or two little encumbrances happening with the conference. And what I'm going to be saying now is sort of a little bit of a, I don't give a shit whether you pay attention or not. I've talked about the intelligence transfer sequencer. I've talked about ITS purge sequence 0 being in effect across the planet. And today we're having a bit of a chat about certain things. And I've talked about the ITS way back in the 1980s, 1987, when we did KISS FM 103.7, and a lot of people sort of said, oh, the scans and all this sort of stuff. Now, today, actually, I found a book that actually talks about that sort of thing, and it's called this. It's called Pie in the Sky, A Revelation of the Ancient Wisdom Tradition. One of the key things that's happening at the conference is Edmund Marriage has talked about this sort of stuff. We're going back 12,650 years or something. These megaliths, which are all over the world, there's this brilliant man, Michael Poynder, and I've had this book, somebody decided to borrow it off me for about 30 years. And Michael Poynder is one of the geniuses of our time. He's left us, of course, and this is all about these standing stones. Megaliths. Now, the whole point about the megaliths is that this is an excellent book. There's a new book coming out. There's always new books coming out. And the key to all this sort of stuff is, this is just random selection. There's a lot of very complicated diagrams involved with this. And the bottom line is, after the comet fragments hit, and a whole lot of things changed. For instance, this is the vortex spiral energy. You can just see that spiral energy there. And that's pi in the sky. That tells you we're talking about things in the sky. And we're also talking about rotational vortex, torsion field energies and all that sort of stuff. So the planet got tilted, and I've just opened up the page again. Now, this is full of a thing called ITS. I just want you to know that this little thing I'm talking about ain't a load of bullshit. Now, I don't know if you can actually see that. I don't know if the camera's auto-focusing or not. But the bottom line is, there's a lot of a thing called ITS. Yeah. Now, this is interesting because this is one of these little things that we did. 5 aspects of it. It says its breath is it. Nobody knows ITS, its size dimension. Going a kiss in the silence of its dance. KISS FM. Random little things. So these are what I call ITS signatures. Now, that means we're dealing with signatures coming through space-time interdimensionally. The whole point about the megaliths are that they could not be where they are without somebody who put them there having an off-planet, hyper and interdimensional aspect of knowledge. Because that's why they put them there, so those who came later would be able to deal with this situation. And with Google Earth and the calculations and the specifications of Google Earth, it's been very well explained, a lot of this in megalithomania and stuff like that. It indicates that the basic mathematics of where the megaliths are all over the world means that whoever put them there must have had an off-planet and inter and hyperdimensional experience. Okay? So we'll leave that alone. So we're dealing with interdimensional stuff, and when I say ITS violations will incur penalty, I'm simply saying, if you want to muck about with this stuff, if you think you're bigger than this stuff, no matter how big you are, no matter where you are, anywhere, you mess with this stuff, you incur penalty. And right now, there are people messing with this stuff, and you will incur penalty. Another little thing that's happened in the last, I'm very grateful for, I have some very good people who send me these bits and pieces. This thing here is from the Ministry of Defense, not of one country, but of the United Kingdom and Germany. Now, the point about this is Ministry of Defense, and also in partnership with Bundeswehr, Office of Defense Planning, that's Germany, okay? And look at what they have in the cover. They have the famous painting portrayed with human's finger, the human finger, and in the painting, I think it's in the Vatican or someplace, you have God. You have God's finger giving life and intelligence to humanity, which right now is under threat because there's a bunch of so-and-sos think they can just rape the world, suck it dry of all energy and life, and go on. Now, the point about this is, look at the finger where God should be. It's a cyborg finger, enhanced human. This is about the human augmentation, the dawn of a new paradigm. Do you see that, guys? Do you see what I'm holding here? This is a book by the Ministry of Defense talking about cyborgs and humanity. This is a thing here called a 3D printed heart. You can 3D print you these days. Now, when the Prime Minister of Canada says he's going to inject all his armed forces, these people think they're so powerful. The only reason they're injecting the forces, the police, is because they need to wipe you out, so that when they do the things that they're doing, there won't be any armed forces left to actually fight back, but there will be the cyborgs. And here it is. The cyborg armies are amongst us now. We've talked about this in Super Soldier Forum. James Rink doing a whole lot of really good stuff. James Casbolt, Max Spears, whole pile of other cyborg people, all that sort of stuff. We now have, of course, Elon Musk with his neurotech technology. And look at this. Now, I don't like saying it, but whoever this person is looks a little bit like Jimmy Savile. Now, the thing about this is that this is an extremely important document by the Ministry of Defense. This is very important, executive summary. What they're doing here is putting this out. This is a disclosure document, human augmentation. The Strategic Implications Project is a bilateral cooperation between the Bundeswehr, Office of Defence Planning in Germany, and the UK Ministry of Defence's Development Concepts and Doctrine Centre. Now, the whole point about this is to basically put this whole thing into the public domain. The case for human augmentation, section 5. It's 100 pages here. It's very important, and it's telling you where it's going. You know, it's telling us. And so this idea that when BASES started 25 or 26 years ago, when Barry King's father, who was in the MI6 or whatever, the British intelligence recovery of resources thing, they found augmented humans or strange looking humans in a German lab, and strange looking aircraft, and basically they were making the cyborg stuff. Now, there's a lot of films about this. One of them was by Red and Black Films about the machine. You've got other people talking about all this sort of stuff, and it's all fiction, not really happening, but they're talking about it. Well, now it's real. Now we aren't in reality, little happy land. Now this is real. Okay? The non-human cyborg units that people have talked about. Flying to Mars and, you know, the diamond spiders of whatever. And another little thing, this is a brilliant broadcast journal. It's very, very expensive, and there's lots of stuff here about the key aspects of where broadcasting's going and all that sort of stuff. On the front cover, in terms of the fake alien invasion paradigm or parody or whatever you want to call it, this is about how nowadays we have synthetic audiences, synthetic games, and this is about sports and mixed reality. There it is. Sports and mixed reality. Now we've had virtual reality, and we have chroma key and other ways of the illusion that you have on TV. This is about mixing actual living games with augmented or reality. Now this particular diagram here shows you how you draw a series of vectors mathematically, so you can then animate that on a computer, and this figure will animate and it will then do whatever you want, and then you stick the image of whatever you want. It could be an alien, it could be a Superman or something, or it could be the Prime Minister, or it could be you know, a heads of state announcing full-scale nuclear war or whatever. And that's already been parodied. That's already been shown in the movie with the insects and all that sort of stuff. Warriors, Space Warriors 3 or something. But they've got that concept where a prime minister, i.e. the head of state in that particular aspect of that movie, is like a Nazi situation. We're fighting the bugs. And they actually have the general, who's a woman, actually giving a whole speech that the president's giving, but the president meanwhile is you know, on a planet finding the bugs, and he's caught God. But the point is that somebody completely different can present to you in mixed reality a completely fake paradigm, and that means in real life. So you can have your alien spacecraft there, and Boris Johnson saying hi to the aliens, or maybe something completely different walks out and takes over the planet like the day the Earth stood still. They've got the technology to do that. Okay, so when people want to mess around by destroying my packages, my two broadcast players who were deliberately smashed into the ground, and some little tosser has decided in Warminster that he's got so much intelligence, he knew that I've got a problem with my exhaust, so he faked an exhaust sale. Therefore, I haven't got a car for a week. So they're messing about, and I'm just saying, when the ITS makes itself known interdimensionally through the megaliths and through space-time, and you've been warned about this, I'm just going to sit back and watch the party, and that's all I'm going to say now.